What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. What's going down? How are you? Whether you're joining me live or watching the rewind, you're watching it after we go live. What's going on? How is your day going? Today is Wednesday. Believe yesterday, I said yesterday was Wednesday. Every day is Wednesday, folks. The middle of the week. What the hell is that? All right, that's all good. So, folks, what's going on? I haven't looked at prices. I'm now doing this thing. I'm playing this game with myself where I try not to look at prices. Now, what is unfortunate about that is that makes me prepare even less. So I probably should, in fact, start looking at prices because I, want to check the news. I can scroll Twitter without really knowing what price it is. But if I go to CoinDesk or even like CNBC and stuff, usually I'll catch the Bitcoin price, and the Bitcoin price can kind of tell you all. Not all, but it can tell you most things. I have to, I got a DM from yesterday's show from Bilal, who is in charge of the Fame Project, and he wanted to correct me on Borderless Capital pulling away from the Algorand ecosystem. He said he spoke to them, and what he heard is that they're doubling down. So let's just be fully transparent there. That's the message that I got. And it's great news, really, right? It's great news to hear that in fact is not happening. So we'll see. We'll see. The proof is in the pudding, folks. That's what my grandma used to say. So that's that. Man, I am tired. I'm having a rough week. How's your week? It's good. I mean, I'm gonna fight through it. Today's a good day. I'm gonna be chilling. If I haven't gotten back to you and you need a response, I'll either initiate that response today. But if you don't get it, you can reach out to me. Today's a good day to reach out to me to get a response. If anybody's out there being like, "Why doesn't this dude get back to me?" Today's the day. All right. What else? I was curious before I pressed record. I'm wondering where are you guys from? So if you're watching this live and you're on YouTube right now, you can put it in the chat. I'd like to know, where are you from? What country? If you're from the States, which state, if you're willing to tell me. I'd be interested to know where my core audience is from. If you're watching the recording, just put it in the comments of the video. And let's talk about it a little bit. I'd like to know. Let's check out the chat. We'll scroll the news. We'll discover some stuff together. And then we'll move on with my Wednesday and your Wednesday. All right, let's see. What's up, Albert? Good morning. Good vibes from Sheck. Good morning, 409. Need to bring back the scream. I know. I kind of like, did you hear me go, yeah? That's not the same thing. It's, yeah, sorry. Wow, I finally got here right at the takeoff. What's up, Jorge? Good to see you, man. Vince, good morning. Albert, yes. Philly, baby. Vince is from Philly. The Sixers look good. Arizona, like my sister. What's up, Mort? I know Mort is across the pond. Hello, Mort. From Solo. Where's Solo? Oslo. I do know where Oslo is. All right, guys. Well, cool. Nice to see you, Samino. It's cool that you're from Oslo. We got a Norwegian. He's from Detroit. What's going on? Michigan, Fuzzy. What's that? What do we got? Jim Harbaugh. I'm a Jim Harbaugh fan. Are you a Jim Harbaugh fan? You could be a Michigan State fan or something. I don't know what you're a fan of. And it's all good either way. I like Jim Harbaugh, though, even though I think he's getting some flack. He always gets some flack because he's kind of an asshole. But, if I was a player for Jim Harbaugh, I think I'd be down. All right, cool. Well, keep it coming. I'll check the chat again. I'd love to know where you guys are from. Let's dive in. Let's go to CNBC and see what the main headlines are and see if there's anything interesting going on in the world. I know that the job market is tightening up. So that's a good thing for inflation, I suppose. Let's go. All right, what am I doing? This is what I'm doing. Where am I? You guys remember Devin, the KubeCoin dev? I haven't done that in a while. Hey guys, this is a KubeCoin. Is that how he does it? I can't even do it anymore. Hey guys, this is KubeCoin dev here, Devin. I'd like to announce that Coop Coin is going to go to the moon. Did you see, guys, by the way, before we dive in, there was a partnership between the Coop Coin CRV and the Akita Community Project. There's a LP partnership where they swapped $500 worth of each token, and then they deposited, they matched it. You know what I mean? So I guess it was $500 worth of Akita went to the CRV, and $500 worth of Coop went to Akita, and then they both matched it and put it in the Tiny Man LP. So there was some growth in the LP for Coop Akita on Tiny Man. Two awesome community projects. Even though the name of Coop, he comes from Devin. Devin did deliver all the Coop, but after that, Devin has very little to do with it. He's still trapped in the Guatemalan forest, and we haven't gotten a Devin diary entry after the first one. Is he okay? What is going on? Is Devin going to be okay? Are we ever going to hear from him again? We're expecting another diary entry. Oh man, we'll find out. We'll find out. All right, enough. Okay, let's go to, and by the way, that's a good time for me to shout out Twine Stories, which is trying to do something new on the Algorand, in the Algorand ecosystem. They are, basically like web novels, and with the NFT component, and it allows creators to collaborate in a really seamless way and share profits to their liking, however they'd like to do it. So check out Twine Stories. And then all of my other sponsors that you see at the beginning of the show, like EXA MARKET. We just saw that MESSINA ONE is partnering up with Tiny Man and making a lot of moves. They're opening up an NFT bridge between, I believe it was Polygon and Chronos. So they're doing big things. EXA Market's a fantastic NFT marketplace in the Algorand ecosystem. And of course, GORA Network, the decentralized Oracle provider. And they just had a partnership announced with like Radix or something. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening with the people that help make this show possible. So support them, follow them on Twitter, give them a like, say, hey, good job on your new things. Buy an NFT at EXA, bridge some stuff with MESSINA, live that life. All right, let's go. Stocks are little changed as investors wait for more labor data. All right, the job market. So the Dow is sideways, the S&P is sideways, and the NASDAQ is sideways. All right. Russ is up a bit, and the VIX is up a bit. Okay. Walmart CEO says consumers may not be as resilient next year, even as deflation starts to show. Well, yeah, because deflation will be because a lot of people don't have enough money to buy anything, and losing their jobs and unemployed and running out of unemployment and no longer having the credit cards that they're using. So yeah, I would expect the consumers not to be as resilient when their credit cards are maxed out, they've lost their jobs, and they can't pay for anything. And they have to start compromising on major purchases like, I don't know, their car payment or credit card bills and stuff like that. So I do not expect this. We may be getting rid of inflation, but I do not expect like this recession to just be magically over. They will, because the economy is probably going to break in some capacity, they are going to have to lower interest rates, and you are going to see precious metals. Now I want to say, and I don't know that I mentioned it, and I know a lot of you guys probably think I'm a bit silly for even liking precious metals still because of your crypto enthusiasm. But I mean, I share obviously your crypto enthusiasm, but I still at the same time do appreciate a precious metal or two. And I got to say, what we saw on Sunday, a 5% increase and then an immediate drop. And I believe in what do I know? But it was based on the news of the naval ship and people thinking that could escalate to a wider. I mean, it was with the Houthis or whatever that are backed by Iran are attacking United States naval ships, and the U.S. came and said something pretty firmly or relatively firmly. I don't know, like you shouldn't be doing stuff like that because we have to retaliate if you do. well, we have to respond, I guess, if you do. But the amount of money, I mean, the gold market is so huge. And for it to move 5% on a Sunday and then retrace like that, imagine if one of these, hope to God it doesn't happen, but imagine in a world where the United States truly gets like fully drawn into this crisis with Iran and obviously Hamas and Israel and all of that stuff, actually gets drawn into a war with something like Iran, which is going to be backed by Russia and China, and now we're in World War III. Imagine if that actually happens, what happens to the price of Bitcoin, but also gold and potentially silver as well. It can move parabolically, folks. Those safe assets, and we know that China and Russia, and I'm sure many Middle Eastern countries have been loading up significantly on gold. That market is pretty manipulated, but I could see a blow off the top sort of situation, especially if so it is a hedge against, global security. I think you can sit in the middle of this country in a bunker, surrounded by you're surrounded by gold bars like Scrooge McDuck or whatever. That's a good one. That's a good cartoon. I got to watch that this year. Christmas Carol with Scrooge, with Duck, Donald Duck. All right, folks, there you go. So the Walmart CEO thinks that there's going to be weakness next year in the consumer, and I agree. Google launches its largest and most capable AI model, Gemini. They stole a crypto exchange. They don't care. What do they care? U.S. crude drops below $70 per barrel. Gas prices fall to an 11-month low. So the tightening from the OPEC Plus group is not pumping the price, I believe, as intended. But I'm no expert on that. So private payrolls increased by 103,000 in November, below expectations. Okay, but their jobs are still being added. Kevin McCarthy is leaving Congress at the end of this year. He's done. He says, you kicked me out as speaker. I hate these people. He's like, I hate you people. I don't need you. I'll be a lobbyist for something. A lot of these guys, what's his face? Crypto advocate Patrick McHenry or McElhenry, I don't know, McHenry. He's also stepping back down. Maybe he'll become a crypto lobbyist. Facebook and Instagram content enabled child sexual abuse trafficking in a New Mexico lawsuit. Gross. Governments are spying on Apple and Google users through phone notifications, U.S. Senator says. What are they doing? How are they spying on a senator? Ron Wyden, who is, by the way, not the least crypto-friendly person in the world. He's a Democrat from Oregon, and he has shown a reluctance to, chop the crypto industry at the knees in the, at the risk of stifling innovation. He's somebody that is worried about the United States staying ahead of this innovative field. So he's not an enemy of crypto by any means. Warned that foreign governments are spying on smartphone users by compelling Apple and Google to turn over push notification records. Like what, bro? Push notifications like news alerts, emails, and social media alerts travel through Apple's and Google's servers. They can reveal particular apps. In the U.S., Wyden said information about push notification records cannot be released to the public. I would ask that the DOJ repeal or modify any policies that impede this transparency. Look at those guys. Do you think those guys care about your privacy? Do you think either of these dudes give a shit about your privacy? No, they don't. Foreign governments. What? I'm sorry, I missed that. Foreign governments. Yeah. All right, sorry. Okay, guys. Let's actually read and comprehend what we're reading. Let's try that today. So U.S. Senator Ron Wyden warned that foreign governments are spying on smartphone users by compelling Apple and Google to turn over push notification records. Wyden said his office investigated a tip from last year alleging that government agencies have been demanding these records from both companies since push notifications like news alerts, emails, and travel through the phone servers, blah, blah, blah. So turn off push notifications. I never enable push notifications. Governments can force Apple and Google to hand over these records, just like they can be compelled to share any other information they have regarding their users. In the US, however, Wyden said information about push notification records cannot be released to the public. Apple and Google should be permitted to be transparent about the legal demands they receive, particularly from foreign governments, just as the companies regularly notify users about the types of government demands for data. I would ask that the DOJ repeal or modify any policies that impede this transparency. For instance, the agencies have asked for metadata that can help connect anonymous users on messaging apps to specific Apple and Google accounts, according to the report. So if you're using WhatsApp, they can still find out who you are. In this case, the federal government prohibited us from sharing any information. Now that this method has become public, we are updating our transparency reporting to detail these kinds of requests. All right, enough. All right. Norman Lear. Oh, Norman Lear. Boundary breaking TV master and progressive activist behind All in the Family dies at 101. Isn't that crazy, though, by the way, how the progressives have changed? That the progressive activist was behind the show All in the Family, which is a great comedy, by the way. You might find it offensive, but it's a great comedy. All right. Norman Lear, but what else did he do? I knew it was All in the Family, but wasn't there a ton more? Oh, he was all these shows. Good Times, Sanford and Son, The Jeffersons, One Day. I mean, these are all the Archie Bunker. All right. Rest in peace, Norman. 101 years old, man. These dudes are savages. Charlie Munger, Norman Lear, savages, taking it to 100. Let's go. I'd like to live to 100. See my kids become like older than me. Awesome. No, they won't ever get older than me, folks, but older than I am right now. Oh, come on, Palantir. Let's break out above 20, buddy. What you doing, man? Why are you down 4%? What's the problem, bro? All right. Well, I spent a lot of time on CNBC today. That's because I haven't looked at any of it. Okay, here is my frustrating thing that I still am checking for some stupid reason, even though I can't even click on a stupid link. But it can't. Okay, Diamond and Warren find rare common ground in crypto bashing. I hate these people. You're not going to let me do it, are you, Bloomberg? Or maybe because it's live, they are. Goldman CEO calls new rules punitive to economic growth. JP Morgan Diamond capital rules will hurt lower income borrowers. Are you concerned about the lower income borrowers? Are you, Jamie? Let's see. More top live. The U.S. employment report for November comes out on December 8th at 8:30 a.m. That's a wrap on a shockingly tame bank CEO hearing. Thanks for tuning into the blog and enjoy your hydration. What? Butler questions the buying up of properties for rent being in contrast with affordable housing. Diamond says building more homes is good for affordable housing. Who's Butler? Because he's right, dudes. Like it is, they're making us renters, folks. I can get so pissed off about this. I want to read this. That was a new tack from Warren that reflects her evolved approach this year on a host of issues, including crypto. She has teamed up with the Republicans in industry rather than just teeing off on them. The reality is, in divided government, that's the only way to get anything done. They're not telling me how they agreed. I'm not usually holding hands with the CEOs of multi-billion-dollar banks, but this is a matter of national security. Wow, Warren's questioning ordinarily leads to fire. All the CEOs say crypto companies should have to follow the same anti-money laundering, anti-terror financing laws banks do. A real kumbaya moment at the Senate Banking Committee. Warren says crypto has helped fund Hamas and other terrorists and rogue nations. Diamond says he's always been deeply opposed to crypto. If I was the government, I'd close it down. If I was the government, I'd close it down. That's an intense quote. I hope Larry Fink walks into there and just backhands him. He's like, I'm making money, bitch. You better sit down. Today's terrorists have a new way to get around the Bank Secrecy Act, cryptocurrency. It feels like Warren is using these questions about banks' anti-terror efforts to tee off on crypto. All right. Senator Ted Kennedy, unlike some, I don't think you were crooks. Aw. You like the bankers, Ted? All right. Isn't his name Ted or John? What the hell's his name? It's not Ted Kennedy, is it? John Kennedy. What's his name? What's that old man's name? Old man, what is your name? Hey guys, what's his name? His name is Johnny's or Teddy's? Teddy Kennedy's? Just so go to the place and go. All right. What's wrong with me? All right. Okay. Sam Altman's leadership of OpenAI is all too human. Okay. Now I'm just reading stupid stuff. Putin makes a rare foreign trip to the Gulf with oil war in focus. Vietnam is said to be preparing for Xi's visit next week, and ByteDance offers investors a buyback at $268 billion valuation. TikTok is creepy. Isn't TikTok creepy? I'm glad that I've never downloaded that app. Okay. What you got, CoinDesk? Let's look at CoinDesk real quick. Uh-oh. Sweet uncle, 44,000. Bitcoin Core's V26 upgrade aims to impede eavesdropping and tampering. BitTorrent's BTT token doubles in value as Tron, on which it's issued, hits 200 million users. Okay. So Justin's pumping BTT. In the beginning of my show, I really didn't know anything about Justin Sun, and I made a video about BitTorrent, and because I know of BitTorrent, I didn't really understand at that point how corrupt that dude was. Altcoins heat up with AVAX and HNT. He leading the way. BlackRock spot ETF seed funding is a step forward, but just a step. Why are pros craving a spot Bitcoin ETF? Bitcoin and the predictability. Okay, these are just all. Let's read about it. Four of the five biggest block builders on Ethereum are excluding transactions sanctioned by the US government. Let's read about it. You guys can see all this. You guys can see my shit, right? Yeah, we're good. Okay. For many believers in blockchain, the technology's allure lies in its open, uncontrolled nature, where decentralized networks are unfettered by the constraints and biases that shape today's internet. But some researchers and users of Ethereum, the world's second largest blockchain, are increasingly troubled by data showing a marked increase in censorship, what appears to be a concerted effort by block builders to exclude transactions linked to entities sanctioned by the U.S. government. Oh, I wonder why they're doing that. But a turning point came last year when the U.S. government sanctioned Tornado Cash. Okay, we know that story. It hasn't really. Sorry, hold on. Let's go. Let's get to the Treasury Department's Office of OFAC said the program was used by terrorists and other U.S. sanctioned entities. So it added Tornado's Ethereum-based computer code to the same blacklist as Iran, North Korea, and Hamas. In response, some blockchain advocates were defiant. They balked at OFAC's attempt at censorship and gloated that Ethereum would be immune to it as a result of its decentralized construction. It hasn't really worked out that way. About 72% of data blocks posted to MEV Boost middleware that powers almost all of the validators that write blocks to Ethereum are now considered censored, up from about 25% in November 2022, based on research from Tony Warstatter. a researcher at the Ethereum Foundation. The metric measures blocks assembled by MEV Boost block builders, which, based on statistical analysis, appear to deliberately exclude sanctioned crypto addresses. All right. So it's not permissionless, is the gist of that story. Which makes you feel that if the US government can get them to exclude certain addresses, they also could shut it down on some level. Like Jamie Dimon says, if I were the US government, I'd shut this bullshit down. Too bad he sort of is the US government, right? Damn. It's a bummer. All right. Let's see. Oh, give me a break. Okay, here we go. Let's share this instead. All right. Nearly 100 million in Bitcoin shorts liquidated on centralized exchanges in 24 hours. I mean, folks, I get it. I get it if you're short, because like it is, sorry. If I've learned anything in my now several years in cryptocurrency, is that when it's up only and everybody's talking about there's no cap to the prices, that comes to an end. And then it's down only and crypto's dying again. So they're working on it. They're late. They planted the seeds in the Senate banking hearing, where they talked about shutting it down. They talked about Hamas. They talked about all the buzzwords that you want to hear: terrorists, national security risk. If you don't think that Tron and Tether are firmly in their sights, you're a psychopath. Now, does it matter? That's the question. When they go after these guys, is it going to matter? If they, sorry, Jesus. And turn this light on. Doesn't really make a difference, does it? Yeah. Does it matter is a question. How successfully can they create the next cryptocurrency is dead? When cryptocurrency is up only, usually you should be cautious. When cryptocurrency is dead, you should be greedy. All right? So cryptocurrency is dead, you're greedy. That's the cryptocurrency version of the Warren Buffett quote. Nearly 100 million. Okay, we already read that. Okay, we're still early across the board, says CoinFund. Oh, pump it, baby. Binance to compensate traders who mistakenly bought a rally in that stable coin. Okay. But what I get, I didn't finish my thought, is that shorting Bitcoin is a psycho move. ARK Invest offloads another 33 million Coinbase shares, 6 million GBTC amid market rise. She knows how to make money. Crypto-fueled wireless carrier Helium Mobile debuts unlimited nationwide plan in US. What are we talking about? Helium Mobile service combines the peer-to-peer Helium network, an Internet of Things project that uses the Solana blockchain, and a nationwide 5G network. Helium Mobile, which calls itself the world's first crypto carrier, said Tuesday that it launched a nationwide plan in the US with unlimited data, text, and talk that costs just $20 a month. Helium's mobile service combines the peer-to-peer Helium network, an Internet of Things project that uses Solana, and a nationwide 5G network. The launch follows a limited trial in Miami earlier this year. With Helium mobile hotspots, subscribers can own and set up mini cell towers. Dead zones can become a thing of the past when anyone can become a builder and set up a hotspot to expand the network for themselves and the community. Helium Mobile's offering an outdoor Helium Mobile hotspot for $499 and an indoor one for $249. According to Helium Hotspots map, there are currently 3,831 active mobile hotspots in the network. Sounds really cool, folks. The price of Helium's HNT token used to incentivize hotspot operators supporting the network rose slightly on Tuesday after the news, although the current level of $298 is still much lower than the all-time high at the end of 2021 when the token traded at $51 per token. Helium Network was founded in 2013 to build a peer-to-peer wireless network for Internet of Things devices. It raised $111 million by Alameda, Multicoin, Ribbit. In February, the project raised $200 million in a Series D, funded around at $1.2 billion with Tiger Global and FTX. In September 2022, the project migrated from a proprietary blockchain to Solana. That same month, Nova Labs signed a contract with T-Mobile to cover the gaps in Helium coverage. Okay, guys. I am such a chump. I like this. I want one. I want a Helium phone, and I want it, and I want a hotspot. That's funny. All right, but I'm not gonna get it. Okay. Okay. Let's look at prices. Terra's pumping. Let's go, Terra. Look at that. Extreme greed. We are in extreme greed. 82. Extreme greed. Did I say that? Okay. 43.9. Bitcoin is still up 16%. 16% in the last 7 days. Oh man, we're pushing down. We're going down, aren't we? We're under 44. Volume is even higher than it's been. We're under that, which is potentially a good thing, but we're under 44. I'm a buyer at 32. That's when I'm buying. I have enough. I should be taking some off. It's just like when you have it's just like you have to transfer the fees, and then it's just like, and then you sell it, and then it goes, like I do feel like maybe taking a little bit of profit right now. So I'm certainly in profit. Should I just take, it's the holidays. I could use some money, take a little bit of Bitcoin profit. Oh man, it feels like it might be the right thing to do. Solana's up. Come on, Solana, give me a break. Cardano is up. Look at this alt season. Avalanche, man, that's on a wild ride, isn't it? 31% in the last 7 days, 16 in the last, almost 17% in 24 hours. AVAX, number 10. Polkadot up 17% in the last 7 days, 6% in the last 24 hours. Bursted through 6. We haven't seen that in a bit. Hedera strong, 15%, 4% in the last 24 hours. VeChain also doing well. Stacks gave back some of those gains, but it's still up 41% in the last 7 days, but it is down 10%, kind of making its way back to $1. I expect that to continue to dip. This thing does pump and then like really retrace. So if my gut is telling me is true that we probably do revisit 32 to 35, this will obviously take a big hit as well, because even though we were just not that long ago at those levels of, let's say it's 32, the narrative is like, oh, this could go down to 15. Everyone's going to start calling. All the people that are calling for 12,000 are going to be doing. So right now, the bulls are celebrating, and then if we go back down to 32, everyone's going to call for 15. Everyone's going to miss it, and then we're going to get the rise. That's what's going to happen, folks. Right? I don't know, but that's what it seems. That's what I think is going to happen. Is I feel like we're running out of steam on this. Maybe tether printed bull run. Who knows? That's what the haters like to say. but it does seem to happen every time they print a bunch more. But I guess they're printing a bunch more all the time. So maybe that's just why that's correlation isn't causation. Causation isn't correlation, whatever. But yeah, we're going to get a crypto is dead. It'll lose $12,000 in price. It'll be a massive candle down, and then the CNBC and everybody's like, "Oh, crypto's in trouble. What's going on? Hamas and terrorists." And everyone's gonna be like, "Crypto's dead." And then we're gonna be like, "No, it's not. But is it gonna go to 15?" And then you're not gonna buy it, and then it's gonna be like 32, and then it's gonna start going to 35. And you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, this might happen." Then you're gonna FOMO, and they'll take that away from you, and then they'll go back, and then it'll go. It's got to make sure to sideline you. Is my little fantasy resonating with you, or do you guys just think I'm crazy and this truly is different? Ordi top 50, up a measly 233% in the last week, 16% in the last hour. This is the meme coin. That's the meme coin right there. Terra Classic up 100% in the last 7 days. But that's pushing down a bit in the last hour. Quant up 14%, up 111. That'll be back down to 100 soon. We all know that. Algorand, you could build Uber on top of it, up 18% in the last 7 days. They down a little, I guess, sideways last hour, really. Well, literally sideways now after that moment. But 24 hours, it's nearly 1% up. And I mean, look, I can say whatever I say all the time about all the things. Most of it's positive. But if you're paying attention to Algorand, you've got to Algorand at least has got to have your attention, because it's kind of like they're partnering with the United Nations. Like what? Oh, the Clinton Foundation, the United Nations, a bunch of different things in India. Literally, my thesis coming into Algorand is playing out. But price hasn't exactly performed the way you would, and it's just not going to take off like the other ones. But it's up 18%. I shouldn't say that. I just don't think. I think there's a cap on how it can run. All right. Enough of that. Let's look at Vestige. Oh, let's look at gold. I'm interested. Silver's pushing down. It's below 24. It's still up almost 7% in the last month, but yeah, it's pushing down. And gold is still above 2,000. Up today, though, and still up 2.5% over the last 30 days, which is a lot of money in a big market. Okay. I didn't share this, but if you wanted to see it, there it is. This is what I was looking at. And this is the other thing I was looking at. All right. How you doing, Coop? What's going on over here? Wrapped AVAX pumping. Makes sense. The Ukraine token is up 80%. Polka gold seems to be down only. Chips. Great. Algorand Casino. DFly. Great wallet on Algorand. That's up a bit. Nice little cup over there. Opal. Back over 10%, or back over 10 cents. You're seeing bigger influencers talking about it. Big announcements are coming. Certainly that should probably have some juice coming up. GORA, mentioned it earlier. And yeah, decentralized network still, it was sitting around a quarter for a while, but it's still sitting up there in the high 20s, down a bit in the last 24 hours or so. Coop down a bit in the last 24 hours as well, but growing, 135,000 in TVL. And yeah, nearly a cent, creeping up to 2 cents. Key to feeling good too. down a little bit, but still a lot of TVL. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, a little collaboration between KubeCoin and Akita Inu, two community projects teaming up to take over the world. All right, cool. Let's go back. Let's check on you guys. Anybody else tell me where they're from? If you're new, I am curious where you're from. Let's check this out. Let's talk to you guys. Any news? What do we got? Arizona, what's going on? Oslo, Detroit. He likes Notre Dame. There you go. My cousin went to Notre Dame. He played in the, he was in the band. He was in the Notre Dame band, the Fighters or whatever they call them. Chile, Yorkshire. Good morning, Ludo. And also a pool with Sky. All right. Yeah, Coop and Sky. I don't know. I don't actually know. Tell me what Sky is. Good morning, Fred. How are you, sir? Fred is from GORA, and he often tunes into the show, and I appreciate it. Everyone smash the likes, you lazy zombies. Like it. Hey, this guy, man. This guy is awesome. He's always here. He's always encouraging people to like. He's always encouraging me to keep going. Be consistent, showing investment positions on social media using blockchain transparency to track whales, plus using domain names. Yeah, people sure do care about privacy. Yeah, right. Well, that's different though. Like if you, it's about if you know that something is public, then that's a different thing than people don't know they're being tracked by a foreign government or whatever based on enabling push notifications. You know, there's certainly a different thing. And I think people, but you're right. I think that people by and large are just like, okay, accept, okay, just let me go. Let me move forward, please. I'm trying to buy these shoes. Like, it's all good. I just want to read that article. Fine. Yes. So you're right. You're right. People don't really care about privacy. And I mean, I'm guilty of accepting cookies and shit like that too. So I signed up for that Portal Coin thing and I don't even think I got a shard because I'm not going to sit here and tweet about Portal Coin all day. I don't even know what the hell it is. But it just seemed like the thing to do. So it's another thing. I'll link in my Twitter account. What's up, Crypto for Change? They're going to start only building tiny homes for us and charging like $300,000. I mean, seriously. If I was a government, I would release the Jeffrey Epstein client list. Yeah, would you? Would you Crypto for Change and expose all your friends? UK's net migration is over 700,000 this year. Only 135,000 new homes built. The housing market is stacked to outprice the poor. It's so bullshit. It is so. I mean, it stresses me out, to be honest. I want a house. So when do the people actually join forces and push back? Like, yeah, right? Like, how do we even, when do we, it's because we need politicians that actually give a shit. We need people that actually have influence, that care. But what happens is power corrupts. And you start to realize that, it's the same thing as when you get a good job, you don't want to lose it. Or if you, like if there's a board, it's like the status quo becomes the safe thing to make sure that you take care of it. If you have a family, for example, and you have a great job and you need to be corrupt in order to keep that great job, you may have a moral thought inside it. There's actually morality in the idea of being like, well, my job is to provide for my family. So my job isn't to be a symbol of morality. My job is to put food on my kids' table, to provide them with nice things, and to set them up in the future. So, of course, I'm not going to expose the Jeffrey Epstein client list because that would put me on an island and I would lose all my connections and I would be blah, 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 blah. So they make you complacent with fear. So nothing ever changes. I don't want to be that person. And so then what ends up happening is you end up getting, accused of being a conspiracy theorist or, crazy, or people start to push back at you because you're pushing back on a narrative or something like that. And I mean, I'm not saying that I have any kind of platform really at all to do any kind of anything, but I'm just saying I don't want to be that person. I have turned down money in the past because I stood up for something. I made one of the dumbest financial decisions of my life because I did what I thought was actually right. And I didn't just follow what everyone else was doing. And they won, they got a bunch of money, but I stuck to my convictions. And it was a stupid thing to do in the end because it was a bad financial move. And it actually, if I had just gone along with it, it didn't hurt anybody, really. Anyways, enough of that. Brando, Robert Kennedy Jr., RFK, I watched his interview on Theo Vaughn. I listened to a bit of a Twitter space that he was putting on. And once you can get past that voice that just is like, it's got freaking glass shards in his throat. Poor guy, man. There's no way to fix that. I mean, I feel like I'm like that right now, but there's no way to fix that. Oh, it's a hard sell. You know what I mean? Listening to that, it's hard. And people also think he's crazy because his family thinks he's crazy. But I'm listening to this guy and I'm like, this dude's not crazy at all. Like, actually seems like he cares. So give the guy Secret Service, Joe. Exposing the Jeffrey Epstein list could possibly hurt your crypto positions. Sure, you want that? Well, I just told you that, and I think most people know that I'm not afraid to FUD my own bags. So yeah, let's just do it. Who would be the client? Oh yeah, Kurt's saying. I think that's a subtle way of mentioning Jeffrey Epstein's connection to MIT. I think that's what Kurt's saying. Mort was gutted when Helium went SOL. I know they could have, and aren't they? They're also backed by like Borderless Capital and stuff too, aren't they? Yeah. But that mobile hotspot stuff and having T-Mobile making up for it makes it kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. Seems interesting to me. Yeah, it is. But Algorand community are so stubborn that they can't see the good things that are happening on Solana. Well, I mean, I got to say, the internet, Helium thing, I don't know. I don't know a ton about Helium, but this mobile thing is actually a good idea. And Solana is probably a just fine blockchain for it. So there you go. Still holding some render and Pith. Up nice on both. Nice crypto for change. How sad. Under 44. I know. How long will BNB be in the top 5? Not much longer. How long will XRP be in the top 10? Yeah, XRP is kind of like faded. I mean, are they really going to, is Ripple, and how long will XRP be in the top 10? What do you guys think? Do you think XRP has it? And then, they got past a major hurdle. Kurt doesn't really like anything about special. He doesn't see anything special about XRP. And I would say I know a lot of people that feel the same way, Kurt. Coop, talk about Opal. They will launch shortly its layer 2. They will go parabolic. Yeah, I mean, you saw me hint that when I was looking at Vestige. I imagine you probably posted that before or after before I looked at it, because I do. They're not launching their own layer 2, right? They're migrating to a layer 2, and once they get there, that those dudes are smart enough to have relationships with influencers over to wherever they're going. They have aggressive market making strategies. These guys know what they're doing, right? A little bit of scarcity, a little bit of hype, a little bit of influencer action. Lee Parsons is a bit of a rock star in and of itself. Like, when this news hits and whatever they have planned to kind of launch it, you would think that 10 cents only up 100% from the sale will be a thing of the past. You would think. And you would think, me knowing that, I would go open up a position. I would like Lee to come on the show. He told me, I've had a bit of a talk back and forth with him, maybe in the new year. I was thinking is Polygon, but I don't know. Algorand will take a while to move. Got to realize almost 3 billion coins have been released since the peak back in late 2021. Absolutely. And you have to also think that DWF is going to take profits along all the whole way and significant size. And then he'll buy it and bring it back up to a point. And then so there's a cap on how much it can move, for sure, for many reasons. And like Kurt's saying, a ton of algo has been released very, very quickly. We're getting faster to full distribution. I think it's a lot faster than anybody had anticipated. Ludo's from Slovakia. I like having an Easter Island. Cool. No face. Nice, guys. Rule Britannia's from Australia. Hell yeah. It's a global show, folks. Yeah. 409 says, if Borderless is doubling down on Algorand, why is a rule tweeting TravelX should partner with Pith and go cross-chain? Stacy responded by saying no. GORA Network is the better oracle. I agree with you, 409. I know. Look, Bilal told me that they're doubling down on Algorand, and I see zero signs of that. Like, let's be honest. But Bilal is connected to that world, and I think he actually spoke with them. So that's what he's saying to me. That's the words that were told to me, and I wanted to make sure that I represented that to you guys. But I have to be honest, until I see signs of it, I said it earlier, the proof is in the pudding. Like, make some pudding, folks. Make some Algorand pudding, because I don't see a whole lot of Algorand pudding in the Borderless moves lately. Yeah, Borderless is backs GORA, right? Depends on if long-term holders did a lot of accumulating. People tend to forget about day and swing traders, long and short. 409, seriously? No, we got to start the rebellion. Crypto for Change is on the beach right now, planning a rebellion. Star Wars is giving us the blueprint. Love you too, Chris. Thanks for showing up. Cooper Kennedy Jr. for president. I could be a politician. I like all types of people. I don't like to demonize people. I could be a person that I could try. I could try to be a politician that brings people together. I would need some good aides and people keeping my mouth in check. When I get frustrated, I get frustrated. I don't know if you've noticed, but when I sense injustice, I start to get frustrated. And maybe I say emotional things. So we'd have to put that in check. Algorand needs a strong catalyst, not just news of partnerships, to have strong price action. Yeah, what we need is an actual demand for the token, Like there's stuff to do in DeFi, which is cool, but it's just like, the gas is so small, and the transactions, there's a lot of transactions, but not enough to create any kind of I got to buy more algo in order to do this. We'll see. A rule tweeted 5 hours ago. Okay, we'll go look at that. Okay, let's see. Let's go look at a rules tweet. I like I like that. Stacy's winning me back if she just responded no. Let's see what that is. I don't have an X. Oh, here we go. I got to go back here and turn this on, don't I? Let's not leave you guys back. Let's not leave you behind. Okay. All right. TravelX is one of the best examples across Web3 that is creating new markets, secondary market for flight tickets that didn't exist now in Web2. Moreover, they are creating new revenue stream for airlines while increasing their customer experience and reducing costs. So he is sharing the Financial Times live with Stacy Warden right there. Fractionalization is a very important part of tokenization, but there's another kind of tokenization, which is creating markets that didn't exist before, like a secondary market for airplane tickets, like TravelX. I can imagine a cross-chain world where TravelX is creating NFT tickets across all major blockchains, leveraging Wormhole Crypto, cross-chain messaging, and Pith for real-time price oracle. Well, obviously, Borderless just made a massive investment in Wormhole and in Pith. So he's pumping his bags for sure. 2 million tickets already tokenized in Algorand and on their way to 5 million this year and billions in the next wave of cross-train future. FT Live, Stacy. What would be the point of making their service cross-chain? Is there a need to move the tickets across different chains? Seems like it would unnecessarily add complexity to a system that has more than enough capacity to scale as is. Imagine people can only book and access their flight tickets only on Android phones, but not in iOS or other phones. And also within Android, they can pay only Google Pay, but not through other means. But that doesn't make sense because you just need, I don't really see how that actually, I actually kind of agree. I mean, I agree. I know Algo Batman is sometimes doesn't like some of the things that I say, but I sort of agree with this GIF. But that's not the case. They can book with an Android, Apple, or any other device. Currently, no need to create extra friction for users. Algorand is in the back end. It's about the UI at that point. Ultimately, they'll pay in their local currency. I don't really understand your point of view, Arul. In the case of TravelX, there is literally zero interest in cross-chain, in my opinion. Whether the solution is on Algorand or another blockchain DLT changes nothing for the consumer who buys their tickets directly on the company's website. The blockchain here is used as a back-end component, so this analogy doesn't quite make sense. No, he's an investor in TravelX, Borderless Capital. TravelX is, I think, an Argentinian company. Borderless Capital has its roots in Argentina, and they're one of the early investors, along probably with Algorand. And there's clearly maybe a bit of a battle in the background happening right now, and this guy's trying to push it cross-chain to it using its new things, its new toys. Man, look, I don't believe that people are misleading me or anything, but I mean, you're telling me they're doubling down on Algorand and they're trying one of the better projects on Algorand. They're trying to get over to Solana. Okay, bro. Okay. Sweet uncle, don't really believe that. The sweet uncle thing is weird. I don't see the no, though. Okay, she didn't just say no, but I can imagine an exclusively Algorand world where they get real-time prices from GORA Network. Oh, snap. I like that one, Stacy. I'm going to go ahead. I'll even quote tweet this. Maybe I'll just quote, I like this one, Stacy. Or no, no, let's just share it. I don't need to say I like that one, Stacy. Let's just share it. All right. You guys just watching me now navigate. Now I'm just talking to myself, navigating Twitter. Win GORA Network and TravelX partnership. I can imagine an exclusively Algorand world where they get real-time prices from GORA Network. Hell yeah. Good take, Stacy. Look, I can be wrong. Maybe Stacy's the person to lead this. I've said it. I've said that she obviously is very talented. And, by the way, I want to say to you people that I've said that I didn't necessarily think she was the right person as the CEO because I wanted somebody that's more crypto native, and I was jockeying John Woods a lot at that point. I also said that I didn't think that she needed to go away, and that the things that she is working on, she may be able to be on the board and have a different position and be able to do these things. And then the face of the company is more somebody that's crypto native that people connect to. That was the take that I took. It's not that bad. Crypto for Change is in the building. Home Alone, one of the great movies of all time. All right. Okay, we good? Are we all good, guys? Let's see. What are my notifications about? All right. I'm on this whole thing where I'm on this kick right now where I'm noticing that I just feel like really people that disagree on things are like literally saying that their opposition are like non-human people. Like, and you see it in you're seeing it at a much scarier scale in this war over in the Middle East between Israel and Hamas. Both sides are completely and utterly dehumanizing each other, making it okay to just continue to kill each other. There's humans on both sides of this with their parents and their kids. They have moms, their grandmas, there's children on both sides of this thing. I said this very, very early on when Israel said that they were going to the force of all this stuff. And I'm like, oh man, that's going to be brutal, because there's people that just want to live, no matter if they feel like they're being occupied by Israel and they wish that they would go away. And that's in general. They do also maybe just want to live and don't like the idea of mutilating and raping women and murdering them. They just want to live. And of course, like, the Israelis just want to live. They want to go to a concert and like not be massacred. I just don't understand how people, like, we're getting away from, or it's like Russia. Russia's like the people. The people over there are under that leadership and are suffering as well. They just want to. They probably just want their economy to get better, so they can raise their families more peacefully. It's like they're people, in China, whatever. So it's like we're so stupid. Or people, the way they look at Americans, and they think, the stereotypes of us, and that we're all whatever. It's just like, I don't know. I find it very creepy, and I feel like it's like something that is super problematic for our children, because when everybody is when you're wondering if people are actually human beings, like if you're led to believe that there's like this whole secret society of lizard people, like that's so freaking confusing and creates mental illness. Certain people think that you need to be asking these questions. No, there's certain baseline things, like we're humans, until they tear off somebody's skin and we all see a lizard. Like, you have to believe that everybody is a human being with a mom, a dad, potentially children, a brother, a sister, friends, people that love them. Just because they want to be, they want to change their sex, or because they want to drape themselves in a flag, or because they, whatever, like, I don't know. Just let them go. I mean, the only time I get concerned about some of the crap on the left is when it affects children, because that's another thing. It's like you're telling kids that they can change their sex. It's crazy. This idea that men that have transitioned to women should compete, and women should lose to them gracefully is disgusting to me. It's so stupid. It pisses me off. Like, it's just like, why are you gaslighting like this? Women should just lose gracefully to people that were formerly men? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, nobody believes that. Nobody actually believes that. They're just scared of the blowback. Anyways, that was my initial campaign speech. I'll be running for mayor of my bunker. Can I even win that? I would have a hard time even winning that, I think. All right, let's go back to Restream. Cool. All right, let's see what we got here, and then we're going to sign off, guys. I'm just like, how many of you guys see me? Is this attractive when you guys see me trying to read like this? Hey, guys, this is ReCoop Coin Debbie. I'm really political. I'm a political beast. I'm going to be the mayor of Guatemala. I want to be the mayor of Guatemala cities, and I just give them all tamales for free, because I like people. And I like a beef tamale. I like the chicken green salsa tamale. I like the corn husks. Oh boy. All right. So this with the fees makes no sense. Solana also has cheap fees. Okay. Algo has just no apps and games and stuff. It has real world companies who use it, but they do not play on crypto Twitter. Neither pump the price. Fair enough, man. I don't really know. Solana has more demand. It does. That would be nice for bot games. Even Steam could work on it and have them as NFTs for secondary market. No company needs to buy Algo token to use it. Neither the customers. It just works. Good evening. Good morning. What's up, Mel? Or maybe not. They might lose some of their earnings. Not sure. I see his point, but he used a bad analogy. I can't wait for them to have left Algorand. Relax and sleep, says good riddance. Coop, the developers at Securis wallet just added support for Algorand and are asking what tokens from the Algo ecosystem should be added. The wallet is in beta. Anyone interested in testing, giving feedback? What's up, Jose? Securis, I don't know the wallet. I'll look into it, and you should definitely, they should go to Vestige. Definitely look at the top 10, add those for sure, and keep going. Those tongue clicks are something else. I want to hear that every time I hit like on, oh yeah, or whatever I was doing. Keep up the great work into the next bull run. Thank you, Rule Britannia. Shout out to Australia. Watching Coop trying to quote is me every time I see a post. like what was like, I don't want to say that. I'll just share. But I was a fan of that post. Rwanda and Yugoslavia were the worst cases of this. Yeah, Yugoslavia. Rhetoric and propaganda can be more dangerous than Twitterers want to believe. Yeah, for sure. I know that's the thing. That is definitely the rub, right? Is that if you correct, obviously we don't want a Twitter where political people on the other side of a political sphere are silenced in service of another political party, or however you want to frame what was happening at Twitter pre-Elon. But if you overcorrect and you allow propaganda and lies to go unchecked, then that's also a problem. I wouldn't want to own Twitter, that's for sure. Coop is possibly a lizard trying to throw us off the trail, though. That is possible. I could be. I have a goanna. There is a goanna out there that is Coop me. I mean, there's a whole goanna actual, Koopa Troopa thing. So, I am attracting a lot of lizard activity. We all algowanas underneath, and I hadn't even seen that. More, we're good. True, more. We have to stop the lizard on lizard violence. Yeah, I'm going to change my race. All my life, I have felt white inside. White people accept me, please. You're a trans racist if you don't. There you go, Kurt. Kurt is decided that he's a white man. Let's all support Kurt and his transformation. Kurt, welcome, brother. Welcome. You're welcome in my house anytime for some hamburger helper and a glass of what's a white thing to drink? Milk. White milk. We do not drink chocolate milk. Smash the like button if you like Algorand. Please do. All right, guys. Hamburger helper. I haven't had hamburger helper since I was a kid. What other things? What was it? Not rice-a-roni. I mean, yeah, rice-a-roni, but what was I guess that was hamburger helper. What other some very white things to eat? Pot roast. I think is that white? Anyways, great fun, Coop. Maybe one day Algo will moon and we get that high life. I want it. Mayonnaise. Oh my God, let's add so much mayonnaise. Guys, you got to love mayonnaise if you're going to change your race. If you're going to change your race to white, you got to love mayonnaise. All right, folks. Hey, fun show. I'm glad that you guys were here. Meatloaf. Dude, Vince came through with meatloaf. Absolutely. Meatloaf. You just got to think of like the 50s and 60s. What were they cooking in the 50s and 60s? And those things are it. Like pot roast, meatloaf, chicken tikka marsala. That's white, right? I eat a lot of that. No, that's not white. That's Indian. All right. What else? My mom always made good enchiladas, so that's not good. Lasagna. But my mother's Italian, so I had a lot of Italian food being, growing up. All right, folks. All right, I appreciate you. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, and I'll be here at around 12:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, everybody. Have a good rest of your Wednesday. Let's look real quick before I go. What are the prices doing? Anything? Okay, Bitcoin wants 44,000 back. It's knocking on the door. Ooh, 13 away. 13 away from 44. Let's